In the previous part, we covered the band's inception, success, and eventual hiatus. A relatively trouble-free project when considering the logistics of dominating 7 young adults and generating around £60 million. Each band member has earned around $750,000, and Paul and Hannah have found love. But what happened in the aftermath? In 2006, Hannah, now chasing an acting career, falls for an actor she's working with in the TV show Primeval, and encouraged by industry connections to dump Paul as soon as possible, which she does, breaking his heart and ending the romance. And just as Kylie did to the youth of the 80s, destroys the dreams of young romanticists worldwide for some shiny new stud to suit her new brand. Bradley takes part in an MTV series that puts together a boy band supergroup featuring members of New Kids, Another Level, Steps and 911.
Apparently there's not many people. The last show that we did with Esclar was like 18,000, which is great.
He's reminiscing about the good old days as it dawns on him that his new supergroup have sold 120 tickets at £5. It looks like the lads have splashed out on a cheeky packet to lift spirits, but even a little livener can't hide the embarrassment. As they meander undisturbed through the spattering of single mums and small-town livestock, they switch from party vibes to survival mode. That gear's feeling a bit speedy, and it's getting a bit toasty in here. Hey Danny, what the fuck? Jimmy's not touched the dandruff for donkeys, but he knew it would be shit as soon as he saw it. Worst case, he's going to be courting the pig in the front row's face with gunge before he hands back that rented suit. Back on top, Jimmy. Back on top. Upper Street, as they were called, are quickly dropped by their management and label following the disappointment of their first single. With only a few interested members at any one time, S Club 3 form and play universities, caravan parks and gay prides, with varying lineups for a few quid to keep the bailiffs at bay. In 2007, Jo, having blown all of her money on fruit machines and baccy, takes part in Celebrity Big Brother, an opportunity to win the hearts of the nation.
Suddenly groups have formed, and that's happened after Jade's come in.
So this particular year, with a house boasting celebrities such as Tito Jackson, Face from the A-Team, and Indian superstar Shilpa Shetty, Jo finds her safe space amongst the lowest form of life in the house. Cheap and nasty Z-listers Jade, Goody and family. One of which is Jade's mother, a one-armed smackhead prostitute, giving the house a Weatherspoons vibe. The pinnacle of Britfilth reality TV.
I don't trust her. I don't trust her. At all.
Do they do that in India, eat with the hands? Or is that in China?
Their casual stupidity and general ignorance put them in a spot of bother. The illiterate brunette is famous for sucking off footballers. A cheap and nasty lowlife that loves being in similar company.
I'm not sure, I don't like all that though. They would put things
I
in
don't
my
know where their
food.
fingers have been.
That's why they're all thin, because they're sick all the time.
Indians are thin because they're unhygienic and sick all the time was one of the biggest nails in her coffin, alongside mocking the accent.
Would you like some tea?
I wanted tea! Fuck off with that round my head.
I've got a big hairy face. I must bleach the hairs off my face.
The irony of a woman that can barely string a sentence together, making fun of a foreigner that can speak better English than her, is truly fascinating.
You're a liar. Not only are you fake, you're a liar. There you go. Boom, boom.
Jo, I mean, are you going to say something here? I mean, what is happening here?
Shilpa wrongly assumes that Jo's a respectable person and reaches out, hoping that she'll bring some common sense to the petty squabble. But when put on the spot, she just laughs with her skanky mates.
Made my day.
I fucking break my day up, I'm telling you.
This
this isn't just about a TV show anymore, it's a major diplomatic row.
A diplomatic incident. As hilarious as it was to see the full force of the media collapse onto these thick as pig shit rodents, the Indians milked it like a sacred cow, giving credence to the verbal diarrhea of this nation's pond life.
I think the Indians want reassured that we are a nation of fairness and we're a nation of tolerance.
The Prime Minister gets involved, reassuring India that Teddy Sheringham's spunk bucket is under close surveillance and no longer a threat to world peace.
Those three young women are witches with a capital B.
Edwina Currie, only 2 years after admitting that she was emptying John Major's nuts in the Houses of Parliament behind their partners' backs, gets her claws out for a catfight. And that's what this is really all about. The British government and media have found themselves under the spotlight and feed these over-bloated slugs to the crows to save themselves. To make things worse, she did an interview with a tabloid, doubling down on her behaviour and digging herself even deeper before going into hiding.
I've just been in the room for the last week.
She pops back up a few days later, having spoken to her legal team and with her best compensation face, having heard that Big Brother's practices are now being scrutinised. With a nervous twitch and shy schoolgirl demeanour, she recounts her 7-day ordeal, like Romford's very own Elizabeth Fritzl.
And mentally, I'm not very well, I've been told.
Humiliation isn't meant to feel good, it's meant to force you into accountability. But when that fails to work, the mental health card's always a popular bet. He wants to hear about the flashbacks from your days in Vietnam and the PTSD that you're suffering.
Why do you not like mirrors anymore?
Because I always feel that there's a camera behind him.
Unable to even practice her dance moves in the mirror anymore, this could lead to a loss of earnings. Nobody's even asking the important question, are S Club 3 about to become a duo?
Or helicopters, because we weren't allowed to see them. We would get told off if we was in the garden, so now I've got this thing that the helicopters are coming to get me.
She's laying it on a bit thick now, remembering the juicy compo her lawyer mentioned. What about suicide? Is that of any interest?
I did think about it.
What kind of thoughts went through your head?
Well, answer the man. Jumping? Cutting? Poison? Shooting? Which one was tickling your fancy?
Sorry.
A little dry cry to tie it up. She's done well. Nobody really thinks she's a KKK Grand Wizard, but it's been fun. S Club 3 get themselves back out on the road to pay the bills, stopping by at Channel 5 for a bit of much-needed promo.
Yeah. Obviously, Joe, a couple of years ago, you entered the Celebrity Big Brother house.
Right, yeah.
The reporter, knowing that Big Brother ruined her life and having conducted an otherwise forgettable interview, decides to take a sneaky jab to test her chin, and she senses danger.
Is that something you'd ever do again?
No, I think I'm done with reality TVs.
Why?
Unhappy with the response, and in a moment of desperation to save it, he takes his punch with a straight face to help things along. This could be his big moment.
Just because I've been there and I've done it, I've worn the t-shirt and I'm ready to move on with my life.
What about you guys? Reality TV?
I think...
He bottles it. The stares from Brad break his spirit. But did you hear Brad? I'm pretty sure he turns into Levi Roots and says, "Man's a thief. This one is." Or "Man's a tit." Have a listen, let me know what you think.
What about you guys? Reality TV?
I think...
They both stare at him like he's a piece of shit for the rest of the interview. The full band reunite in 2015, with Hannah and Paul even rekindling their romance for a few months. Despite her having some brand spanking new knockers, He broke it off as didn't think she was over her ex. It's not long before Paul's out of money and forced to sell some of his awards, 2 Brits and a sales disc from New Zealand. He gets almost £70,000 for each Brit and $40,000 for the disc, netting him 150k once eBay have taken their 30 grand. Abs from 5, seeing how much Paul gets for his, decides to list his on eBay too, throwing in his MTV gong to maximise the profit and hoping to buy an island, but only gets £6,000 after eBay taxes. John, who's now officially a fan of soft furnishings, appears on a dating show. Paul also appears on a dating show where he's rejected and cries on camera, as well as appearing on Loose Women, where he turns up broke without anything to wear. He's also a big fan of tarot and starts his own YouTube channel, giving readings and being a generally nice guy. Rachel joins Dancing on Ice, where she falls for her dance partner and leaves her boyfriend. In 2023, it's announced that the group will reform again, all 7 members, but not long after this, we get the sad news of Paul's death. An undiagnosed heart problem, out of the blue, and just like that, one of the good guys. Hannah's devastated and drops out of the tour, although later claims that she was pushed out, just like Paul, leaving 5 of them to go out and mime to backing tracks around the country, whilst feigning emotion to video screens of Paul in an attempt to make it look like a tribute. What a grubby way to tie up this clean-cut, high-energy club of pop stars. A well-executed business plan, almost flawless in fact. If it wasn't for those pesky kids, they could have squeezed another album out of it, but there's no complaints from Fuller, who's achieved his wildest dreams by turning a big-budget stage show into a multi-platinum vocal group. The group themselves all seem to be decent people, with only Jo exposing herself as a chavvy mean girl, although in the grand scheme of things, not exactly Rose West. With regards to there being no party like an S-Club party, I'm calling bullshit. Peace and love.